All right, we are now on live.
What's up,
What's
bud?
good, Matt? How you doing tonight?
Good, man. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I mean, I guess we all just are winding down the weekend, but
Oh yeah.
we make videos, so I feel like if you like me, the weekend and the weekdays not crazy different these days.
It's a little different. On my Sundays, I always am prepping for Monday's live stream. We do what's called Medicated Mondays
Got
on
you.
Monday. So Sunday is the day that I don't do anything YouTube related
hmm
except organize the live stream. Oh, and by the
I
way,
I
thanks for
feel
having
you.
me on the show, man.
Of course, I appreciate you joining me. While we're getting started, we got a few people now joining in. Where can people find you, man?
Just go to it's Strain Show everywhere on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
hmm
Just Strain Show.
Got you. How much is it, or how taxing is it for you to be maintaining all these channels? Or what would you say about that process? Do you have a team, or kind of what's your process with that?
I have I do not have a team. I have what feels like a team from
Yeah,
my Strange Show homies, like the people who are
yeah,
have become my friends through the channel. My
yeah.
girlfriend helps me with almost every single thing I do YouTube related.
That's dope.
But I'm really just trying to focus because it can be fucking overwhelming.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
and there's so much. I never realized how much there is to do as a YouTuber. You're not only writing the videos, you're filming, you're editing, you have to do research. Now you have to learn SEO, you got to learn how to make thumbnails, you got to learn
Hell
how
yeah.
to do marketing, you got to learn how to make merchandise. There like
Right.
get into like I started a podcast, all these other channels, and I felt like I was getting spread thin. So I
Yeah.
just brought it back, and right now I really just mainly focus on the YouTube channel.
Okay.
So I'll have good weeks. Maybe I'll post every day on Instagram for like 3 weeks, and then I'll go
Yeah.
ghost for a week.
Yeah.
But as long as I keep my YouTube going on schedule with that, that's all that really matters right now. I figure after I get that more situated, because I've been making videos since on this channel since 2017, and I feel like
Oh wow.
I'm just now like learning how to make the videos I like.
Oh yeah.
Like I just now am figuring out how to make a video that I still like to watch a week later.
That is actually That's crazy how long that takes. Because I think of it kind of like musicians. Because I think about all of our favorite musicians that are really big or really popular right now. So many of them, man, they had 4 or 5 albums out before anybody knew who they were.
Oh
So it
yeah.
just takes that time to kind of develop your art and develop your method and be able to do it quick enough also to get your message across, but exactly how you want to get it across. So I definitely feel you on that.
Yeah, it's a learning curve, but after you get in the groove and you feel like, all right, this is right, this feels nice.
Yeah.
It's like you know how now at this point I know how my video is going to be structured before I
Yeah.
even know the content of the video.
Got you.
So I just got to figure it out and then do some research. I do like a lot of researching for the videos on my channel because I'm always
hmm
trying to. The theme of the channel is new fun facts about weed every week.
Right.
And I know some stuff about weed, but I don't know enough about weed just to drop random knowledge on everyone every week that's
And make it interesting.
absolutely correct.
And make it interesting also, because it's tough. Sometimes it's not like there are facts that I feel like it's important for me to talk about on my channel and stuff like that, but it's not necessarily the most fun thing to talk about, not necessarily the most interesting. So
Exactly.
finding that mix of keeping people engaged while also informing them can be hard. I see why our teachers struggle so much.
Yeah, no shit. I feel like if our teachers would have been talking about weed, I would have been front and center. Like all eyes, all ears. I'm gonna get
Hell
straight
yeah.
A's.
What's that? So what got you? What got you into making videos? First off, and back in.
It was 2017, like the
Mhm.
very end of 2017, like November. I had recently moved to Colorado,
Mhm.
and when I first moved to Colorado, I started working at the Denver airport. And everyone
Okay.
from back home was like, "Why the fuck do you work at the airport, yo? You love weed, and you finally moved to the weed, and you're working at the fucking airport,
Hell yeah.
dragging luggage." And I was like, "Yeah, but I'm trying to make fat money, and the airport pays fat money, and the weed jobs don't." And when I eventually moved to weed, everyone had a million questions for me because I came
Yeah.
from the South where weed is super illegal. You're in Texas, right?
I'm in Texas. Yeah.
So you already know.
Yeah, for sure.
But
Because I
people,
moved up. I moved up there in 2019 just for a year. I lived up in Fort Collins
Nice.
during college, and I spent a year up there, and I just saw just what the Colorado landscape, like you're saying, coming from the South, coming up to Colorado, like that's so different.
it's
And I had to
fucking wild.
experience it. I was like, I need at least a year. I took a year off of college. I was like, nah, I'm about to go experience and have a good year. So but back to your story. I apologize.
Oh no, you're good. But like just like when you came and you saw that and you had to see it, I had a lot of friends who had to see it, but they just didn't have that opportunity. They had to see it one day, but for now they're still at home. So they're hitting me up. How does this work? How does this work? How do you do this? Can I smoke here? What about hotels? So I just started making videos. Like, I figured instead of just answering 100 texts, I'll just make a fucking video.
Yeah.
Because I liked weed content on YouTube, but I never felt like I could find the weed content I was looking for. Like, there was a bunch of weed content online, but I seemed like the things that people I didn't really actively search a lot because I had really had no hope. Because every time somebody showed me a content creator that was cannabis focused, it was just like, watch, he's going to smoke 4 grams until he throws up. Like, who gives a fuck? That makes us look like assholes, bro.
I agree. I've never understood that content. I see the place in it, and I understand the challenge to get the clickbait in there and stuff like that. But if that's all the content is, like, how can you sit and watch that? Because you know how binging on YouTube is. If you binging on anything, you want to watch it like consistently. I can't just sit there and watch that all day long.
I think a lot of the stuff that I do on my channel comes just from the shit I liked when I was growing up. Like when I was a little kid, fucking Bill Nye, Bill Nye at school. If they play Bill Nye at school, that's the best day of the week. When you get a little older, you come home from school, they're playing How It's Made. You got fucking Modern Marvels, all this weird. Like, I would be watching weird shit on the History Channel, on Animal Planet. They'd be like, why are you watching all this scientific shit, bro?
Yeah.
I'm like, did you know that this snail can live dormant for 18 months in the mud?
Hell
They'd be like, no, I didn't know that. Furthermore, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Why do you care? I'm like, I don't know, man. I just like learning useless knowledge.
Dude,
and
the
like, I can't think of nothing.
wormhole is real.
Dude, I can't think of nothing I like more than weed. So just figuring out useless knowledge for weed is fun to me. So I just started making videos like that. That was the beginning of my channel. The first video I made was, I was just on a 2-acre weed farm. I was like, yo, how many people have been surrounded by 2 acres of weed?
Yeah, so few. Yeah.
This isn't hemp. This is high THC weed. So I made that. And then like my second video, I think my very second video I ever made was just called Weed Laws in Colorado. And I simply went through the list of the laws. That was my second video. I got a strike and it got removed. That was demeaning as fuck. I was like, oh, fuck. And I was so confused. I'm like, hold up. I was trying to make the opposite of the channel of the homie who's just throwing up off weed. I literally just read the laws of the state of Colorado and explained how they work. And I get a strike. But I can go watch this video right now, 100,000 views.
Right.
Gonna smoke 4 grams till I throw up.
Yeah.
So I didn't get it. I just kept going. And that first year, like, I started in November. And by March or April of the next year, I already had 3 or 4 videos removed. Like, the whole first year I was making content, I was always, like, any moment, I woke up every day and the first thing I would do is check my email and see if my channel
that happened to me for a while too.
I've been sitting on 2 strikes for so long. And then how it would work is I would get 1 strike for a video I just uploaded. Like maybe it would start to get some views and then they would strike it.
Yeah.
And then the very next day, or maybe even that same day, they would strike a video from 6 months ago. And so now I'm sitting on 2 strikes and I'm worried, like, oh shit, they're striking old shit. Like, it's been up. They've already said that this video was cool for 6 months.
Yeah.
So
that definitely happened to me too.
I've been, knock on wood, I don't got no fucking wood around here. I got some raws, knock on wood. Like, I haven't had any in a while. So I'm sitting on 0 right now.
I'm sitting on 0 too. Yeah, we got to
dude.
reset this June because, the shitty part is when they do the old videos though, because then you're like, fuck. Like, there's so much shit to go back. You're like, who knows?
Dude.
Who knows where I'm good if that's the case.
So I don't know if you've noticed, but like recently they started adding, like, they're adding in the words that you say in the video and the text that's shown. So just like high times.
Yeah.
Like if somebody was to search high times hat on YouTube, it might pull up this fucking video because it reads high times on my hat.
Oh,
and like
shit.
if you write out, like if you go later and just find one sentence that we say in this video, type it exactly into Google, it will probably pull up this video with that quote of like the auto-generated captions. Boom, right in the bottom. It'll say, yo, GP actually said those exact words on this video right here at 4 minutes in. And that shit has been getting scary to me because the last...
That shit's scary.
Dude, I think like... So for 710, the week leading up to 710, I did like a video almost every day, about 6 or 7 videos, maybe about 5 videos, all about dabbing and stuff. And it was real weird because the moment I would upload this video file, while you're still in the upload screen, while you're still giving it a title, before it's even made public, as soon as the video goes 98, 99, 100% uploaded, I get an email immediately. Your video has been age restricted.
The word dab is like, the word dab has to be the most hated weed word on YouTube.
Yeah,
I put sauce. I tested the other day. I did Delta 8 sauce video, no fucking strike, no whatever. And then I've changed to dab. Within 2 minutes, I got that email. So the word dab is hated by YouTube.
See, I'm scared of using the word dab, and I don't want to put, like, I'll write where you know I'm talking about dabs, but if you don't know what dabs are, you wouldn't know I'm talking about dabs.
Exactly, and that's tough because people also only search the term dab, like maybe wax, but that's like the common vernacular that everybody's.
But see, that's one thing about YouTube that I do like. It's smart enough to know that my video, like that if you're looking for my video, it's smart enough to know that my video is the one you want. But since it's that smart, it also knows that that video technically may violate terms and services, which if you look, technically none of my shit, because of my location on the earth, violates terms and services. This dab is not regulated goods or services. I'm not promoting the sale. I'm not promoting the use. I'm informing fellow medical patients about their medicine. It's all legal. Shit. But if I drive a few hours and come sit in your crib right now, your rules are different. So like they just blanket everyone with the same rules. But even with that being said, it seems like some channels fucking just get away with everything. Like I see some channels that are fully monetized, bro. Like how the fuck are you monetized on your channel? I can't even write the word dabs, bro.
Dude, it's insane how there's certain loopholes. Even dude, these companies out here that are currently selling like Delta 8 stuff and have good online e-commerce set up and stuff like that. I don't know how that's happening. It is so hard.
It's so many fucking loopholes with this Delta 8 shit. Like, just because pretty much like selling weed on the internet that's not chill. If you've ever noticed, you've never seen like a fucking ad on YouTube for a fucking dispensary. You don't see cookies ads on TV.
Exactly.
In some places you can, like here, we can advertise for our dispensaries on the radio. Okay. But I've never seen a commercial come across the internet or on like a TV broadcast.
Yeah.
So I think it's just restricted to the radio. But like a lot of companies, like even a lot of these companies aren't allowed to say certain things that like they can't make any claim about like how this will help you in any way. They can't make any medical claim.
Yeah.
All they can say
is like has to say this may help with this may aid
has been known to.
We've heard it has,
in some cases.
Yeah, exactly. But it's crazy. This research just needs to be done, but it comes with a lot of baggage for the government, honestly, to get all that research done and then to have the proof that they have to just present to the people. It's tough for the government's in a tough position now, and they're now on the times so far that it's tough to make laws now about something that's so far ahead in certain places and so far behind in other places. You know, if
It's
that makes
crazy
sense.
the difference, man. Like the difference of how it
Yeah.
goes. Like, cause I'll be talking to people on a live stream or something, and we'll be from all over the planet. I'll be here in
Right.
Denver with my friends that I've been here in Denver with for 5 years. I get up and I go to the weed garden every day. Dispensaries are all around me. It's just really all I know. And if it
Yeah.
wasn't for being on YouTube and having this community of all these friends I talk to all the time,
Yeah.
like I probably would be really jaded to how fucking different all of these laws are across the country, because I'll have one person in the chat from Australia, one person in the chat from Canada, one person in the chat from Kentucky, Mississippi,
Right.
California, and we all have vastly different laws. Like we all have
Dude,
different shit
yeah.
available to us. Like some things that I think suck for me in my situation, some people are like, bro, I would kill to have those laws. Like,
Mhm.
what the fuck are you complaining for? All I can even buy is Delta 8. And so like that's one thing that I really like about having this community around YouTube, is that like more
Because
than
it's almost like these politicians need to listen to these YouTube live chats because
Yeah,
they don't
man.
really know what's going on. Because even the fact that a politician lives in a certain state and they regulate a certain state, you know, they don't understand how far ahead it is in other states. Like they don't actually, the frame of mind is like, yeah. So it's just tough.
Yeah, they're
to
jaded
see
to the way
as
stuff
legalization
works in their
begins.
state.
Right.
That's like the one thing that probably was best for, I think, for me anyways, in terms of the whole lockdown and everybody being at home,
Yeah.
as far as my YouTube channel went. Because I was, fortunately enough, weed businesses were essential businesses. We got to stay open. And I
Yeah.
worked in the back with the plant, so I didn't really have to see the customers. So,
Okay.
you know, really small contact with people. The group of growers I worked with was only 3 deep, and only 3 of us work at a time, and there's only 4 on the whole crew. So
Okay.
I'm only around 2 other people at any
Yeah.
given day. So it wasn't that bad. I kept making money. It was really good. But all of the 420 events were getting canceled. And everybody's hitting me up like, yo, what's good for 420? Like, there's nothing to fucking do. I was coming to
Right.
Denver, and now
Yeah.
the world's closed.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to buy a bunch of live streaming gear, and I'm going to do a big fucking 420 live stream. And we live streamed for 4 hours on 420.
Shit.
And that was the first live stream I ever did. Dabs up, buddy. Give me 1 sec. Can you get concentrates in Texas?
One more time. I'm sorry.
Can you get concentrates in Texas? Is that something
Delta
you can find?
8? Only Delta 8. I can get them though, like on the street for sure.
Okay,
If
yeah,
that's
that's what
what
I
you
meant.
mean.
That's what I meant. Black market.
Oh, black market here in Texas is thriving, dude. Thriving.
figured.
I know of personally 3 dispensaries now in the city. Do not tell me how they operate, or don't ask me how they operate, whatever. But I've been to multiple dispensaries now in the city of Houston.
Wow, that's fucking
Yeah.
wild. And how does it work in Houston if, say, you were to get pulled over and he patted you down and you had a gram of some concentrate in your pocket? That's like a fucking huge no-no, right? I'm not really sure, though, because Texas has a lot of different, like, spanning the whole state of Texas, there's, even just in Texas, there's way different laws, right?
I would say that stuff, dude, is still completely based off of like income. If you get a decent lawyer, you will beat that dab case immediately. It's not like some, you know what I mean, that it's going to linger. But if you
Yeah.
can't afford a lawyer, I honestly think you're probably going to go to jail for that. We do have decriminalization though of up to 4 ounces of flour. So if to have flour, like that's a pretty safe thing, up to maybe a ticket of $100 or something like that.
That's nice, man. Now that's not legalization where you can walk into a dispensary, but that is
Right.
fucking huge, man. Some people
Right.
don't appreciate that as much as I feel like they should, but that is fucking huge. So that's great.
Right.
But I know
So
some places they really trip on concentrate specifically. Especially
Yeah.
some places will charge you like you were cooking up real legitimate. They will charge you with, I think it's manufacturing a controlled substance. if they catch you like making concentrates?
Or they catch you making it 100%. So to tell you about my story, I got caught with like an empty cart, like oil on like the coils of a cartridge, and I was facing 2 years.
Holy shit! That was in Houston.
But outside of Houston, so like in the suburbs, they're different counties. So I was in a different county, and in the county I was in, you're facing 2 years for any type of concentrate because it's a controlled substance. So, like, I'm fighting that empty cart cost me $11,000, dude.
Holy shit, yo!
So all that shit went away, but that's what
$11,000 in how many years of your time?
Dude, I fought that. That's the thing. My lawyer beat that in 4 months, dude. Because
that's not too bad. I thought you was about to tell me 2 years.
But people can't afford that lawyer. To be real with
right.
you,
You're right. You're lucky. You're lucky that you had that. Because imagine if you didn't have that.
What? You're at least getting 2 years probation, and then probation, we all know, is just a trap. So like
probation is a huge trap, especially for fucking weed lovers, because weed is the only thing that I can smoke right now and piss dirty for in a month.
Right.
Tell me why I can go do cocaine, heroin, all this fucking pills and everything on Friday, and then piss on Monday.
Be good.
And I'm clean, and that's the only fucking thing they test. This basically like all we test for is weed. It is legitimately a drug test.
Exactly.
For everything, it's an 18 panel, sure. But the other shit don't show unless I hit it in the car before I walked in here.
Exactly.
The only thing you're really testing for at the end of the day is this weed, the most benign shit ever.
Yeah. So to tell you, like, just for my situation, down here in Texas, people are for sure still struggling with that shit because that was, I mean, it was just, that shit just sucks, you know, and especially considering, one, I'm not even a huge fan of carts. And two, it was him. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was like dripping it out from like the bottom of the bitch and shit like that to like figure out so she could take me.
They got to crush the glass and like scrape it just to get a test. Soak the whole cart.
I'm sitting there on the side of the street, like in a neighborhood.
That would be fucked up, bro. Like, you're in jail and they're like, what did you get locked up for, homie? A fucking cartridge, man. An empty one at that.
But you'd be surprised how many people in there were in there for something very, very simple.
Oh, dude, everybody else would be like, me too, God
everybody. Because so the reason I think this shit really fucked up is when I talked to my lawyer about this stuff, he said he had 22 simultaneous cases.
What? Holy shit.
So that means
like, the lawyer. Think about the money you spend on this lawyer. That's 22 people that could afford that lawyer. So for every one person that could, there's probably 5, 10, 20 who knows that can't.
But my lawyer is not fighting for legalization then, is what I'm saying too. Because
he don't care. This put money in his pocket.
A new house. That's 22 times 10 grand. Come on. Yeah, at one time?
He's balling. He don't have a care in the world.
Yeah,
he's going to keep moving states. Every time, if Texas legalizes, he'll move to somewhere else.
Hell yeah. And fight.
Like, I've been fighting this in Texas for fucking 10 years. I got you guys.
Because I'm like, at that point, it felt like a huge conspiracy. You know, I'm sitting here like the lawyer's paying the cops to lock people up and just, you know what I'm saying? Because this is like a vicious cycle with how, for him to be having like 22, 23 cases. And I'm just like, fuck. And then.
That's one thing. Oh, my bad.
Go ahead.
No, I was about to cut you off on some whole other shit. You weren't even done.
Oh, but I guess what I'm saying is they changed the laws right when I fought that because too many kids were starting to get felonies. Like there was one high school that had 6 kids with felonies for cards, and these kids are 17 years old, and they're leaving high school with felonies.
You know your laws are fucked up when you are forced to change them because your whole fucking high school is full of felons.
Full of felons, like
dude.
So all these parents.
Are you talking about Little Billy? Little Billy is a convicted felon.
Exactly.
Like, hell yeah, Little Billy. Like Little Billy can't even get in the car by himself. He's got a stepladder. He's
Billy
a fucking
did time. He did time.
Yo, you ever go by a high school and be like, I wasn't that small? Or it's really middle school. I'll see middle schoolers and be like, God damn, them kids are small. I wasn't that small in middle school.
Tiny. Those kids are tiny. It's unbelievable.
I felt grown up in middle school.
I think about it in high school. Like a freshman in high school is young.
Yeah, you're young as fuck. But if you would have went up to me in high school and tried to give me some advice, can't tell me shit. I got this figured out already. Like,
I'm
fuck.
dead. Yeah, I definitely did not have respect for a lot of adults that were in their 30s or something like that, and I'm sitting there 14 years old, not knowing shit, never hardly left my city.
I would always like take advice from older people, but never the real important shit. As soon as they got, now listen here, young blood, and they started to point their finger and this
Yeah,
is something you ain't gonna want to forget. I'm like, oh goddamn, here he goes on this old man shit again. And I'll be like, yo, look, I'm. It's not that deep. What we were just hanging out and smoking.
where are you originally from?
Alabama, Birmingham.
Oh, okay. I've spent some time in Alabama for sure.
Have you? What part?
Tuscaloosa. My sister went to Alabama and Tuscaloosa, and so we would always be up there
Hell yeah,
doing
Tuscaloosa is
something.
just a straight party town.
Hell yeah. But I'm glad you're glad to be out of there, though. I would imagine.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, it worked out. Like I was having a bad week. Had a weekend. Had a long weekend off work. Hit up some homies in Colorado because I had came here when weed first legalized. Hung out. Just hung out. It's like fuck, weed's rec legal
Yeah.
in Colorado. Let's go
And
take it.
that was a big deal back then, too. Nobody had it.
Yeah, no, I was working for myself doing construction. I had just done a roof job, so I had me a little bit of pocket money. And I came and just got like an extended stay, cheap ass hotel and stayed for like a month and a half. So I'd made some friends. So I was having a shitty week at home, long weekend, called some friends, hey, I'm coming to Denver. Can I crash at your crib for the weekend? And that was 5 years ago.
Shit. That's
I
crazy.
stayed for the weekend and then I had a week off work. So I called and I was like, yo, I know this is like last minute, but could I take my week vacation like this coming up week starting on
Yeah.
Monday? And they were like, yeah, that's cool.
My Colorado story is very similar. I went and stayed with one of my friends. She has like a chalet up in Breckenridge. Her family does. And I stayed up there. And then 3 weeks later, I told my parents I was not going back to college that year and I was living in Colorado.
Oh shit. Oh, I'm getting mixed up. I'm thinking that I had to call off work. I was just doing jobs by myself. So I was like in Colorado and I was like, I could do construction jobs in Alabama.
Yeah,
I can do construction jobs in Colorado. And I was
exactly.
dead ass wrong. I couldn't find any work in Colorado, like, cause I didn't know anyone.
Right.
And I didn't have like any references or any work to show. I couldn't say, you
Yeah.
know that house down on this street
Right.
in Birmingham, 1,800 miles away from here? I did that.
Exactly.
They'd be like, I don't care.
Yeah.
So that's how I ended up working up at the airport. But
Yeah. I worked at a
It's
restaurant
just-
when I was out there.
it's so much different here. Just the whole culture is so much different here. And just
Yeah.
like because of the weed becoming recreationally legal here first, and
Yeah.
I think Colorado's always just had like a chill vibe. But like a lot of fucking hippies and a lot of weed smokers came
Oh,
here.
yeah.
There's so many hippies and weed smokers in this.
So
city.
many hippies and weed smokers.
And hippies and weed smokers that you would never think are hippies and weed smokers.
Right,
Hippies and
anybody
weed
could
smokers
be.
that just did a spinal surgery on someone.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they leave there, they go to the dispensary. And then they go home and fire up their Puffco Peak.
Oh, yeah.
And then tomorrow they go do another spinal surgery.
That's how it should be.
Dude, if you've ever, like, when you stay at a dispensary all day and you see the huge, like, different, I don't even know what the variety of
Demographics.
customers.
Yeah.
Yeah, the demographic.
Yeah.
There isn't a weed smoking type. That's not a
There
thing.
isn't. There isn't at all, dude.
There
at
are
all.
any type of person, any age, shape, size, color, nationality, religion, like that is the one, like only, like one of the only things I can think of.
Yeah.
It's sort of like music. Weed is sort of like a good fucking song.
Yeah.
A good song to just make everybody fucking dance. And I
Yeah.
don't got to know you or speak your fucking language.
Right.
You could look like you could be a fucking animal, and if you walk up to me and you're dancing to the same song I'm dancing to, we're just
Yeah.
immediately vibing all of a sudden.
Exactly. There's no type of person. That's like saying there's a type of person who likes music. There's no
Yeah.
type of person who likes music. You can't check somebody in a crowd and be like, I think that type of person likes music. No. And like I agree, weed's the same way. I've smoked with people of all different age ranges, especially at this point with YouTube and everything.
Yeah.
All different races, all that stuff. And a lot of society has tried to make people seem like, or tried to stereotype, obviously, certain people as being weed smokers. I'm like, man, weed could help so many people. It doesn't matter.
Such a weird. It's like so weird how you can connect to someone so instantly just through weed, even
Right.
if you have absolutely nothing else in common. Like someone
Yeah.
from a completely different country that speaks a different
Yeah.
language that's talking to me like through translation.
Type shit.
And like we have just a fucking 2 or 3 things together. Like we both know what it's like to hit that weed when you get home from work, and like we got
Or
a
in the
couple
morning
things in
before you
common.
go.
And so then everything else we can relate on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like if I feel like there's so many situations where people are arguing, if you could just stick out this weed in front of them.
It would
Hold
end.
up, y'all just take a break. Y'all both hit this a couple times. We're going to settle this out. If we could
Oh,
go to
yeah.
political debates with a
Yeah.
bunch of fucking fat cones, everybody take one of these. We will start the debate now, and we will begin asking questions in 20 minutes.
For sure. I 100%
People will be like, you know what?
agree.
That's sort of a fucking good idea. My opponent, I was going to say he's a dick, but he's sort of fucking making a good point right now. I'll concede to that. I will concede to that. Goddamn, this is some good weed. What'd y'all say this was called? Go America.
If it could go like that, if that's how people were talking back and forth, things could actually get figured out.
People would like I don't know, man. I feel like weed makes me more considerate of everything, and it
Yeah.
like makes me
Yeah, definitely have more. What's the word? Fuck. What am
I'm
I?
trying to think of a good word for it. It's so hard to describe. I feel like I'm more compassionate when I smoke weed.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if you're in the car and there's a little bit of
Word.
traffic, you might be like, I wish everyone would
Empathy.
wreck their fucking car just to get out of my way right now.
More
Y'all
empathetic.
get out. Yeah, you don't care. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Just cuz. For no fucking reason, you're just being shitty in your head. And then if you were to be high in that moment, you might have a whole different thought process.
Yeah.
Oh man, they're just stuck in traffic just like me.
Yeah.
We're just trying to get home. We all going through
It's
the
okay.
same shit.
It'll
They ain't
be
got
all
nowhere
right.
to go. There's a car in
Yeah.
front of me. There's a car in
What's
front
a
of
couple
them.
extra minutes?
Yeah, man. Let's go for extra minutes, man. We're high.
You have any other? You do any outdoor stuff out there, or what else? What other hobbies you do out in Colorado?
Oh man, there's like I got into like the electronic music scene out here.
Okay.
Because it's a huge city for that. All of my friends that I met here, it's crazy that almost every friend I have in Colorado either came from the weed industry or the music scene. And
That's
all the
dope.
people in the weed industry were like, yo, check out this music scene. And then I started meeting more people in the music scene. And then those people in the music scene were also in the weed industry. And it's just like a big fucking circle. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of shows out here, a lot of concerts, definitely a lot of outdoors shit, more outdoors shit than sometimes I'm prepared for.
I love the outdoor shit, dude. I love the outdoor
I love the
shit.
outdoors shit too, but I'm from fucking Birmingham. When people say you want to go on a hike in Birmingham versus when they say you want to go on a hike in Colorado, that's vastly different shit. We might be going up
100%.
above the clouds when they say let's take a hike. Like
100%.
holy shit, we're going on a hike.
Yeah.
I wore some Jordans. Like y'all got them fucking, you got a rucksack? What's a rucksack? Like,
Now you
oh,
sound like
man.
you got caught out a couple of times when you first got there. You accepted a couple invitations that you did not expect to go
Oh,
a certain
man.
type of way. Because when I lived up there, you can imagine my friends were always coming up to visit because they wanted to smoke and get weed and shit.
Well, yeah.
And I would take them on hikes, and they'd be so mad at me sometimes. I'm thinking it's a basic hike. I'm taking on the easiest hike, but they coming from Lubbock because I went to Texas Tech. They come from Lubbock. They haven't even moved in 6
Yeah.
months, and they're mad as hell.
Yeah, you took them on a Colorado hike. You didn't take them on a Texas hike.
Exactly. What can I do? I don't have a Texas hike here.
Yeah, I don't have I've never pioneered a Colorado hike of my own.
I see.
But I'm I'm accustomed to a Colorado hike now, and I
That's
will
what's up.
expect it. If you, like, I know who to expect to Colorado. I just know now to ask questions.
Yeah, exactly. What should I
I'm
expect?
down. What should I bring? Should I pack food?
Yeah.
Like, do we need shelter? Like, should I bring a fire starting device? Do we know which way is north? Like, should I let my family know what region we're going to in case we get lost? Shit
I've
like
been lost actually a few times. That's the actual danger. I've told some stories in my channel. Weed and hiking actually can be dangerous, especially because I was one. Have you been up to Fort Collins before?
I have. I've been up to Fort Collins, but every time I go to Fort Collins, I just go to the same friends' houses, so I haven't really
I feel you.
explored Fort Collins a lot.
But like on the edge of it, there's tons of like hiking trails and stuff like that, and they're hiking trails that are like friendly enough to do alone, but still sketchy. You
Yeah.
know, like because
Yeah.
it's still Colorado hikes, like we were talking about. It's still not just a basic hike, and sometimes I guess I could just say I was way less sober at the bottom than the top, and then there's multiple turns and stuff. I've been caught out, like ass out a few times on a few hikes, getting cold, getting dark, lost.
Dude,
Dude.
'cause
I
it's
definitely
crazy how quickly it can change up there too. And
so
if you're not
fast.
and if you're not really familiar with the area, that's all you got to do is say, "Oh, this way looks cool.
Yeah,
Let's check this out." And then fucking 2 and 3 hours, 2,000 feet in elevation later, you're like, "Hold up. When we rode that fifth blunt, which way did we turn?"
exactly.
And everybody's like, "I don't fucking remember, bro. You were leading
Yeah.
the way." You're like, "I've only been here twice."
Yeah, I was expecting you to remember. No, I've been caught in that situation, and then I did that mountain biking, but I'm not a mountain biker. I actually quit mountain biking. I think for the rest of my life, I don't enjoy it. It's too difficult.
Man,
I got
I've seen-
hurt. Oh my!
Dude, I've seen
goodness.
bad videos. I've seen because I used to like.
Dude.
I love to watch the videos of like extreme professional mountain bikers hitting like the best run of the year.
It looks
But
dope.
From watching that, you get showed this guy fucked up and fell off a cliff, and then I fucked around and went down a rabbit hole of those guys. And I'm
Yeah.
like, that is not this. That is not the life for me. You said you talked
Hell
about that
no.
on your channel though. Do you do like story time shit on your channel?
I do on my personal channel. So I have my personal channel that I also run. And on that one, I more do like story times. That one's day-to-day inspiration.
Oh, dope.
But I feel like the way I kind of operate, I'll just go on there and just talk, dude, and then I'll go on live on there as well. But on the Cannabis Library channel, that's more reviews and stuff like that. But on mine, which is Grant Patterson channel, it's just a bunch of random shit. And I bike a lot. I did some snowboarding, put some videos on there of that. So
Sweet.
just whatever I want to do really on that channel.
What's that like? Because I've always wondered what it would be like to have two channels. Because like you wouldn't put that on the Cannabis Library. Like, hey, I'm gonna
Exactly.
fucking go on a bike today, or we're just gonna have
Exactly.
an inspirational chat that has nothing to
Right.
do with cannabis. Because
Right.
you want everything on each channel to be themed to that channel. So I've had
Right.
the thought before, like, what if I wanted to do some other shit on another channel? Although
I-
I've never like had, I've never thought, oh, I wish I had another channel to do this thing. But although I think it would be cool to have those two sides, I feel like that's
Exactly.
A lot
I
to
think
run,
that's
man.
it, because sometimes the Cannabis Library, and I'm sure you feel this way, of course you're just smoking on the channel, but to a certain extent you have to keep it somewhat professional, or in that, like you're saying, in the niche that you're in. Sometimes you just want to go on there and make a video just because you enjoy making videos. You know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah.
to as a release, even as another way versus like writing or something like that. And I just want to go on there and make a video and get an idea across that doesn't necessarily have to do with a company, doesn't necessarily have to do with anything cannabis related, but still enjoy the video making process and still be making productive content, because
yeah.
content's content. So if people find you on that channel and they move over to the Strange Show, or people find you on the Strange Show, move over, it doesn't matter. You might find people like that channel more. That's the craziest part. You know,
that would
like
be wild.
people might go over there and be like, man, your story time is so dope. And that's the side of you that I like watching more. And you can't control that, but it's cool either way. So I definitely encourage you trying it. And then you don't have to have a schedule too. If you want to make one a month and just go on there
Yeah, I
rant.
see what you mean.
And
Just have
leave-
the second channel. Just it hits here whenever it happens. It happens.
Exactly.
I
To be
feel like
honest,
that maybe I don't feel like as confined to just that one thing because of
yeah,
like the live streams. Because like
right,
I think I got distracted on that earlier. But we started doing these live streams on 420,
yeah,
and at first they all like had. Like it was the first one was like for an event, you know, it was 420, so I just bought a bunch of shit. Let's just smoke it in chat, and then it
yeah,
just started becoming a weekly thing, and now
yeah,
it's like through those weekly things, I've made like even though they might just technically be over the internet friends, they feel like fucking real life friends
what?
because I've
Hell
been
yeah,
hanging out with
good.
them and having a smoke session with them for
Yeah,
fucking 3 hours once
yeah,
a week for a whole year now, for over a year
hmm
now. And so, like, when we do the live streams, everything will be based around weed. I'm going to cover the weed news stories of the week. But also, like, if somebody wore some goofy fucking shoes that week and I want to just spend 20 minutes clowning on them,
for sure.
or I want to talk, or if I went on a bike ride that week and I
Hmm
just want to spend 20 minutes talking about my fucking bike ride,
Yeah,
chances are that when I took that bike ride, I was probably high any fucking ways. Most
yeah,
of the stuff I do, just almost being in Colorado makes almost everything that fucking happens weed related vaguely. Because
yeah.
I mean, I always
And
have weed on me. I'm
like
always
and it
smoking
makes it
weed,
more
even if it's.
interesting because everybody's wondering about it. Nobody knows about Colorado really. Not that many people have gone. A lot of people have gone, but really not that many people that are watching YouTube content have really gone and spent time in Colorado when you really think about it.
Yeah,
You know what
like
I'm
in the
saying? Not
scope
that
of the
many.
whole world, like I was saying earlier, there's
Nobody's
people
been.
watching from everywhere. Like,
No,
what's the odds that most of the people watching your channel are from where you live? Very
exactly.
small.
Exactly. So a lot of people are like, man, everybody's been to LA. Everybody, no, they have not. Everybody
No.
has not been to New York. Everybody has not been to LA.
I've never
Like
been
these
to
are,
LA yet either. I'm about to go to LA this month. I mean, not this month, but this year in September, and I'm
that's
stoked as
dope.
fuck on that. Go check out
That's
the LA
dope.
weed scene. But
Hell
like
yeah.
these live streams, we've all got to know each other so well that it's like if somebody in the live stream went on a bike ride that was real dope and I
Yeah.
see it in the chat, I might talk to them about their fucking bike ride for 20 minutes.
Hell
And it's
yeah.
because I'm actually interested in it. And so we could just hang out and we just talk about whatever the fuck. And since we're all weed lovers, that's sort of what I was saying earlier. It's like no matter how different we all have that one core thing in common that we
Yeah.
fucking love weed.
Right.
And so like whatever interest all of these friends I've made on the Strain Show like is interesting to me. And then recently one of the homies on the Strain Show, shout out to Jessica W. I think she's in the chat right now. I've seen her earlier. She made us a Discord channel. And so that's just like a way to go one step further. She says it's just a big sesh with the homies. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jessica made us a Discord, and that's just like a step to go even further. So it's like,
That's dope.
so I made this channel just to help people out, like with weed stuff, but
Yeah.
it's cool because these people have helped me out too. Because over this
Hell yeah.
past year, when everything is closed, you don't really kick it with no one.
Dude, these are my sessions. I get on live pretty much every single day just out of boredom. So when I
See,
wake up
it's
in the
so much
morning,
fun.
before I like stretch in the morning, I work out, I get on live, have a morning smoke session, 20,
Sick.
and I delete it a lot of times because I play music that I want to hear and stuff. And
Well,
then
that's sort of the fun of it. Like if
One
you're not
sec,
there to
I
catch
gotta
it,
plug
you
this
don't
in.
catch it.
My bad.
No, you're good. But that's dope though, man. Because people, I don't know if you can still hear me, but people always talk about how toxic the comments can be and how shitty people can act on YouTube. But I've had a completely different experience being like in the cannabis space. I don't think you can hear me, ladies and gentlemen. What's up to everybody in the chat, though? We got War Eagle, Proud Babylonian, Jessica Dubs. What up, Jessica? Hemp Drive, Ken NY. Thank you guys for coming and kicking it. We got Furious G. Hope you guys are all doing good. Hit this bong again. Got some of this blueberry cream. It's very tasty. Bongs up.
But yeah, dude, my cousin has pretty much a D8 CBD shop down here in Texas.
Oh, nice.
And he asked me to work the other day just because he went out of town and he needed somebody to like fill in or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just was on live on my phone for 3.5 hours, the whole shift. And when I had customers, I just put the phone down and I would do that. I would step outside and smoke just on live. Like, it's just like, I don't know.
Was he doing that on Instagram Live or was he broadcasting that to YouTube?
I was doing YouTube Live on my phone.
That's sick that you
I've
tried that before, but I didn't have a good enough connection from my phone. It looked like trash.
I got you. Luckily, I was in the shop, so it was Wi-Fi like the whole time. But the live is the fun part of the channel for me. Like, that's the time you get to interact with people, and even sessions like this.
Yeah,
I mean, it's so much better than having to constantly come up with my own topics, you know, on live all the time, like somebody else to feed off of. It's fun, definitely.
And then you always hear, like, especially when you're researching, like, I don't know about you, but when I was first getting started, and still to this day, like, it's a weekly ritual for me to just go through podcasts online from people that teach content creators like tips and tricks. I'm still always trying to learn new shit. Especially when I started the channel, I was watching a lot of people that teach you how to do that kind of thing. And everyone warns you how toxic YouTube is and how nasty your comments are going to be.
I haven't gotten that.
Dude, that's what I didn't know if you could hear me when you
I think I have heard it, but I was running around. But yeah, I was agreeing with you. I was like, yeah, I haven't really experienced that like crazy.
Being in the cannabis space, it seems like we get the best of the people. It's so dope. So this is really cool, like what we're doing right now, because I've always wanted to link up with other content creators in this space, and I've just never reached out to do it. Like I said earlier, like there's so many things to do. I just tried to stay focused on like doing my YouTube videos.
Right.
I felt like I was always trying to, I guess in the back of my mind, I was trying to get established before I reached out to someone.
Yeah.
Which that doesn't make sense. I should just reach out to people all the time because
and sometimes
I feel like if I had 100,000 subscribers and somebody hit me up who had 100 subscribers, but they seem like a cool person.
That's what it's about.
Yeah, let's do some videos together. Who cares? Because it's not going to hurt your channel. It's just going to help everyone else.
And people have different ideas. Like, you know what it's like constantly trying to come up with new ideas. Like I was saying, like, if I want to do a multiple hour like live stream or something like that, I might have a topic I want to talk about. But it's just so much easier when there's somebody else there that might have another topic to bounce off of, something like that. And it makes it better for the viewers also.
Like, I don't know what shit's like in Houston.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you do. You know what shit's like in Houston. And then if we bring in someone who's from LA, they know what it's like in LA. Yeah. And then I got like, it's all just a different perspective. And even if we both lived on the same fucking street, we would both see things a little differently.
Hell yeah.
So we all would everybody has their own perspective and everybody brings new stuff. And that helps you learn more about the cannabis space as a whole, which is really cool to me.
Yeah, I agree. And this app, StreamYard, can do up to 10 people. So I think one day we should try to get some other cannabis creators, and we not necessarily all 10, but we could have like 5-6 people and have like a decent sized session.
Dude, and that would be dope.
That would be sick, right? And just sit on here and just smoke. I mean, it doesn't have to be a holiday or anything like that. It could just be regular Wednesday night where we all are free or something.
Yeah, smoke sessions are good for any day of the week.
Well, because we're all having them. I'm not going to sit here and act like I would imagine all YouTubers having smoke sessions all the time. So we're just involved turning on the camera.
Yeah, just leave the camera going. Just leave it plugged up. Just leave it on the tripod. I finally have a space, like where I am right now, is a space where I can pretty much leave my camera and my lights set up all the time.
Yeah.
So when I'm ready to record a video, all I really got to do is move my computer monitor down and hit record. And that took me a long time to get to have a space where everything can sort of just stay there. So when you need it, it's just there and ready to go. You don't have to like set up all your gear every time you want to record.
Oh my goodness. I had to do that for a while.
Dude. And then the other thing that saves me is like, I'll write and research for like 5 videos. And if I'm going to turn on the camera to record, it is very rare that I'm only going to record 1 video.
I see.
Like I'll record 5, and then I won't edit all of them all at once. I'll work on one that like the one I want to upload first.
Yeah.
But I'll have 5 recorded. I might change shirts between every video so it don't look like I'm just recording 5 in a row.
I did that before. I used to do that before. It's interesting. I've tested over the course of like my video making career, if you will, like the different methods in order to like consistently put out videos. I work best recording and editing. I'll make 3 videos in a day, but it's going to be record, edit, smoke, run, and then like record, edit, and then record, edit. Like I'll do it like that.
Okay.
That's just because when I have an idea for a video in my head, I like to do like the whole start to end process, you know, because I have the editing as also a part of the process. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I could see where that would be really beneficial to me, because sometimes when I do that, like, or most of the time when I do this thing where I'll record 5 videos,
Yeah.
by the time you're editing the 5th, you forget really what went down in the recording.
Completely.
Like you lost all that shit. You don't remember.
Yeah. Right.
So now it's like you're watching it where if I would have recorded it and then edited it, I would remember, oh, the 3rd time I said this was the best time. I said it the best way.
Yeah.
Or go to, you know, that would,
Yeah.
I could see where that would be beneficial. But if you can do 3 in a day, you got me beat.
That's a long day.
Oh yeah,
That's a long day. I don't
buddy.
prefer. I like to do 2 in a day though. I like for each of my channel, if I can, I like to record and edit, and then, but it gets tricky because then I like to do TikToks also. I like to do Instagram, so I like to get to the other apps as well. So it's just there's only so. I mean, I like to hang out with my girlfriend as well. So it's like,
yeah.
so it's like only so much time in the day to do all this stuff. But and what's most important. So I just try to, like you said earlier, as long as I make sure YouTube's all right, I don't feel as guilty about the other apps as they don't get like touched as much.
Well, you sound like you're doing a lot, buddy. You're doing
I'm
way more than
trying.
me, it sounds like. I got to where I'm regular on YouTube. I upload on Thursday, I live stream on Monday.
Yeah.
And I try to do a Patreon video every Saturday, or Patreon something every Saturday. It might not always be a whole video. Maybe we'll do like a Zoom hangout chat or something.
That's what's up.
Or I don't know. I'll try to post something in Patreon. So it's like 3 pieces of content go out every week.
I got you.
But
to make up, honestly, for being in Texas, it's hard because the brands that I can work with down here and stuff like that, it's just like the reach, it's tougher. And people in reality look down on Delta 8 and stuff like that and talking about that stuff. So a lot of the the people that consume weed content that are in legal states, they look at non-legal states and they're like, I don't want to hear about that. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense, but I don't agree with it, but it makes sense.
I got you.
I really like that Delta 8 is out there, because in these states right now where it's able to slip these loopholes, this is some legit shit people can get high with. And people, like when you have weed products to get high with, you use other crazy shit less. This Delta 8 probably means that people are drinking less alcohol in some cases.
That's what
It probably means
agree.
some people may be taking less prescription medications in some
I 100%
cases.
agree.
So that's a great thing. And as long as they're making sure their Delta 8 has all of the COAs and it's been properly tested,
Right.
and then that's really cool to me. Like, I love that, because it's like the weed industry has found a way to be like, you know what? You said CBD is legal, right? Right? Let me just double check with you, right? CBD is legal, correct? And anything that's derived from CBD, correct? Okay, bet. Delta 8, boom, from CBD. Gets you high as a bitch. It's everywhere. Suck it. And it's like, hell yeah, dude.
Exactly.
We win again. We win again.
I 100% agree with you. It doesn't make sense to me. The whole cannabis community, like the whole umbrella of it, should be trying to push the whole agenda forward. So places that just have CBD, people should be trying to support those places and be like, all right, let's get them to the next stage.
Yes, for sure. I think anything that is, Yeah,
People are
anything
looking
that's a
down on
legit
it.
product, that's
Right.
weed product, we should all be behind.
Supporting it. Exactly.
Because
And
the more it becomes everywhere, the more it's normalized. Like that's how we get votes like right now, like they're in Congress right now trying to finally be like, hey, yo, isn't this enough? Can we finally stop? We have like 38 states legalized already. Can we just do this federally? And that's
exactly.
the kind of stuff that gets us there.
And I know some of those people now in these places because a lot of people in my family, like older people, have just hit a Delta 8 pin and then realize, oh, maybe this isn't that bad. You know what I'm saying? That's starting to become more of
Yeah.
a thing because it's not as taboo, but it took CBD, Delta 8, and a lot of these places
Yes.
to make people comfortable with the moving forward of the process. They couldn't handle straight up just fat blunts immediately. Like that wasn't
And for a
appropriate.
lot of
You know
these
what I'm
people,
saying?
this Delta 8 is perfect for that because instead
What?
of like think
Exactly.
about a regular distillate pen. This is fucking I let my mother hit a 90% distillate pen. She was fucking smacked. She was like, "Yo, what the fuck is in this thing?
Exactly.
Why
Like
did
it's
you give
too,
me that?" It
it's
was
too
too
much.
much, you know, so it's
Right.
not enjoyable, especially for a first timer, especially
Right.
if they're prone to anxiety or paranoia.
Exactly.
But if they're hitting
So
just something that isn't quite as strong, but it still
yeah.
has that enjoyable buzz, they're like, "Oh, this I don't want to do anything crazy. This isn't going to
Yeah.
ruin the world at all. This is just
Right.
fine."
So
Especially if
from
they've ever drank alcohol. It
yeah,
makes no sense that alcohol is promoted on the side of
all
the
the time
baseball field at kids' games, and
at the high school.
adults can't fucking buy weed at the store in some states.
Yeah. So I feel like with your videos, with our videos, whatever, it's just all a part of just trying to push that agenda forward, like letting people know this stuff exists where you are, this is what you can use, and you should take advantage of it so we can keep moving forward, so you can keep like giving money honestly to these companies so these companies can survive and so this like so they can then fund legislation. Like it's all a big
Exactly.
it's like how all markets work. So and
And I
it's
think
important in my
channels like we
opinion.
do are going to be really important right now when all of these new states are legalizing. There's so many people.
Yeah.
Because even though a lot of black markets are popping in states way before the legal market, a lot of people still use black market because it's cheaper. Even with that being said, a huge majority of people will not ever mess with cannabis until it's in a legal setting. And so with all of these new states legalizing and all of these people saying, well, I don't know, it's legal now. I guess I could just go to the store and get some.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal to them anymore because now it's
Yeah.
legal. Well, if it's not against the law, I'm not breaking the law. I was interested in weed a little bit, but not enough to break the law. So now there's a lot of new people going to be like wanting to learn about this new weed. And, you know, the bud tender isn't always the best person to learn that from.
At
Because the
all.
bud
They
tender's
don't
main job is to sell fucking weed. They're like, you need an
100%.
800 milligram edible, and you need to get this fucking do-si-do weed.
And
It's
they don't get paid a lot
28%
to do it.
THC. Like, you need some live resin hash. You're going to need to dab globs of this. It's going to take away your shoulder pain. And then these people go home and wreck themselves, and they're like, I did not
Yeah.
enjoy that.
Yeah.
Because they got brought into it the wrong way.
It can definitely ruin the experience for you because a lot of people here in Texas, they go out to these places and they end up getting wrecked. Now it's Las Vegas, for real, I would say, is where I hear so many stories. Because now Las Vegas, that's like already the party city. They go to a
Yeah, dude.
dispensary, they buy,
didn't
and
think
it's
of that.
always edibles. You know, people feel like comfortable with edibles
Oh, man.
for whatever reason.
And
People
because
like
you take a
edibles are
little
the-
bit and they don't do nothing. So you take a little more and
Exactly.
they don't do nothing. And you take a little bit more and then the next thing you know, you're checking yourself into the emergency room and you're calling your fucking mother and you're praying to fucking Jesus.
Or you're
and all
checking
this
out of the
stuff.
hotel, waking up the next day, sleep because you slept for 2 days straight.
Yeah,
or
that too. You
something.
wasted your whole vacation just sleeping.
Exactly. So you never know what you're getting into, but people don't want to just hit a J. I think it's a stigma thing for a lot of people here in Texas for sure.
Yeah.
They don't want to hit a joint or hit a dab or something, but they feel comfortable taking a gummy or eating a cookie or something like
Yeah,
that.
because it's disconnected. Like that's not the image you have in your head of the typical
Right.
stoner stereotype. That's just all from like fucking propaganda, probably against
Yeah.
weed, of like you know, like long-haired hippie stoners smoking doobies and stuff like
Right.
that. People don't associate eating a fucking little cupcake. They don't
Exactly.
associate eating cupcakes with drug use. That doesn't look or
Right.
feel like doing drugs.
That's just fun.
Yeah, that's just eating some cupcakes, dude. No, it didn't do nothing. I'll eat another one. Oh,
Hell
no,
yeah.
I'm all fucked up. And, like, when you see people come into the dispensary that are new to the cannabis game, because some people are just coming into this late into their life
Yeah.
for whatever
That's another
reason,
thing.
or maybe
That's
even
another
they're
thing.
early into their life, whatever age you are.
Because
when
of
you first come
legalization, like
into
you
this.
said, like a lot of people won't touch it until it's legal in their
Yeah,
area.
for
They're not
sure.
willing to break the law for it.
A lot of these, like we was talking about, the wide variety of people who smoke weed. A lot of
Yeah.
these people have really fucking great jobs and
Hell
nice
yeah.
careers. They're not about to risk to fucking see what a little gummy's like. But
Right.
if it's legal, that changes everything.
Definitely.
But when someone who's not familiar with any of this comes into a dispensary and there are 7,000 products, each one of them is a.
And there's
take it-
200 dispensaries.
Yeah. And you take each product a different way. And for each product, there's 3 versions. There's indica, sativa, and hybrid of this. And then there's fucking the gummies and the dabs and the edibles and the drinkables and the fucking 20 strains of flour, like pre-rolls.
All
and
different
carts.
price
Like,
ranges,
people don't.
different price, like,
There's a lot to figure out. Like, and people
Yeah.
take that for granted too. Just like I was saying, you can get used to what's in your area. Like all this stuff I have on the table in front of me, dab rigs and bongs and stuff, you just feel like people know what these things are and how they
Yeah,
work. But
they
so many
don't.
people are just now coming into this.
what?
This looks like a fucking mad scientist laboratory to
Yeah.
half the people that see it. Imagine what people who've
that's a
never
great
seen
point.
a dab think when you pick this up and you fucking start heating it with a torch.
Yeah.
They're like, holy shit, homie is on some
That's intense.
fucking straight drug stuff.
Hell yeah. a lady walked into the store. She picked up a pipe and she was like, could not understand what it is. Like, where do you hit it? Where would because she didn't even really know what flour looks like. Because a lot of people don't even know what
No.
flour looks like. So
Exactly,
they don't know
exactly.
that you have to break down the flour, put it into something else. And then, like, I 100% agree with you. We take that education for granted because we grew up with this shit.
Yeah,
But it is a whole nother language to other people.
for sure. Like, so you're doing God's work, buddy, as they say.
You too, man. You too. I definitely appreciate you joining me for this smoke sesh, man.
Yeah,
I
thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much for
Dope.
having me, buddy. Let's link up for some more stuff sometime. And if you
Hell
want
yeah.
to do that 10-way creator hangout
I've
smoke
been
sesh,
hitting
that would
people
be
up.
super dope.
Hell yeah. So if you have some people that you want to bring, I know I have a few people that I could invite and we could work something out soon.
Yeah, I'll try to send some invites out for that. That sounds fun.
Dope, man. Matt, appreciate it. Appreciate
Yeah,
you
thank you,
guys for tuning into the live stream. This was definitely fun.
Yeah, thank
You
you
guys
guys
have
for
a-
coming to watch.
Y'all have a good rest of your weekend.
Later, bud.